Now, there's a number of reasons that I've been waiting to get my hands on the new 308. Primarily, the new shield. This actually goes back to the 60s, but it brings, well, a whole new, I suppose, era to the French brand. This is the SW. I'm Ben Quirk. Welcome to Planet Auto. Well, there's definitely some similarities to the 508, and you'll remember a couple of years ago we actually had one of those, and it was an SW, come to think of it, on a road trip all the way from Cotswolds back up to Silverdale, and that was one heck of a journey. You can see inspiration from the 508, things like the lion's tooth LEDs. It's not a carbon copy, but that's a good thing, and it's certainly what you call sleek styling. The semi-clamshell bonnet, the styling around the LEDs. It's teched up to the 9.2, so you get adaptive cruise control, AEB, cameras, features galore. But that's not surprising with Stellantis. They do like to fully load their cars, especially on top of the range. Now under the bonnet, we've got a 1.6 turbocharged hybrid powertrain, but I'll go deeper into that in the driving section. These retail for, and the range starts closer to, but that means you can pick the 308 up for a rather decent price. A two-tone setup is always something that's going to grab me. Now on this you don't actually have the roof, instead you have styling mostly on the rear, but on the front you can see accents done in black, and it's interesting to see the multi-slats, but the likelihood is that probably works somehow with the hybrid powertrain. It's just a clean minimalist design. You've got LED headlamps, you've got high beam assist, and they're automatic. Rain sensing wipers, and dependent on the powertrain, trim, etc. that you choose, then that will depict which features you get. For example, you can see there is a 360, but we don't actually have it. But we do have parking sensors, so that's always a boon on the front of the car. The thing about the SW is it can really carry off an estate look. Peugeot have been doing it for many years. Apologies, the wind's really got up now. So 17-inch wheels, and they don't look too small. Yeah, weirdly, you'd normally see things like 19s, but decent low-profile tyre. Diamond cut rims, very nice. Dependent on trim, depends on which wheels you get. You get black mirror caps. Wow. We have hybrid etched here. Yes, it does have a pure electric range. Lovely body flow, but there's no chunky styling, which I think works, to be honest. It just looks like your perfect business car. It also doubles as what you call a lifestyle vehicle, because you can chuck all manner of things. Keyless entry and blind spot detection in the mirrors, and of course they power fold. Door opens nice and wide, and a mix of premium materials. This is soft, and you've got a padded armrest. It is quite a low slung car, but it's rather easy to get into. Grab handle here, nice light headliner. Essentially this is an overview, our first look at the car. We'll also do a small drive, but our aim is to get it on full review, so watch out for that. The steering wheel that we saw in the 508. Now it's not going to suit everybody because it is a small wheel, but I actually prefer it. This just means we can really get to grips with the car. Soft materials throughout, on the dash, and there's also some interesting design cues. I suppose it makes it rather understated. A couple of shortcut buttons here. It's interesting how many cars now that are hybrid can tow, because as you can see you've got adjustable headlamp height. I am really fond of the design language, the mix of materials, colours, the recessed buttons. There's always great switchgear in a Peugeot anyway. It may not be the biggest infotainment screen, but it does a perfect job. And also, if you've noticed, different to say Citroen, you've got a smaller infotainment screen and a larger cluster. To be honest, I don't know actually which one I prefer. Ooh, nice and solid. Great build quality all round, and it's very comfortable. Reach and braking steering wheel, supportive seats, and the trim. All these new Stellantis brands seem to be going back to the old school. They're putting far more into their interiors. I mean, this looks extremely retro, but it's supportive. We've got the sporty stitching, and it's comfortable. I'd love to do a long journey in this. This is a really interesting part too. The curvature around here. And if you've noticed, these aren't dust traps. It's just very well constructed. Rotaries left, right and centre, and shortcut buttons. So it's good to see that Peugeot haven't removed all the functionality, because I do like a rotary. Cup holders, storage points, charging points. I've even got a USB in here. Looks like it may even be ventilated. Perfect for cheeses and whatnot. Electronic handbrake. I think that's, let's take a look in the back. Just look at that sloping roofline. Door opens nice and wide, and this looks child's play to climb into. Yeah, no problem. I've even got a grab handle. Hard touches on the top. Yeah, kind of expected that. But it's lit up nicely with this, and I've got an electric window. Half decent sized door pocket too. Decent leg room. I can even get my feet under the seats, and it's recessed. Everything feels really good to the touch. Map reading light up here. Considering it's got a sloping roofline, I've actually got more room than I expected. Because the 508 you had to be a little lower in the rear seat, whereas with this, at 6'3", yeah, it's perfectly fine. Not what I expected at all. Charging points, vents, light and airy, and comfortable. It's a really nice passenger experience, to be honest. Pull down armrest, cup holders, comfortable supportive seats. But the one thing I have noticed is there's quite a few hard plastics. For example, down the side here and in the centre. It's also the same in the front. I suppose the bottom line is, where it needs to be soft touch, it is. I can see we've got airbags around the vehicle and ISOFIX points. And here's the main aspect that's two-tone, and I love it. The bottom of the rear bumper. The black and red really works, especially when you match it to the shield. It just looks very tastefully done. But that's not surprising. Peugeot car rears are a thing of beauty. And I'm a real fan of this segmented look in the LED rear lenses. It's something a bit different. You've got a reversing camera, parking sensors, and a subtle rear spoiler. Also, the back window's not too small either. And this is a nice addition. The word hybrid, but the first two letters being in blue. You fill it with juice on that side, and on this side is where you charge it. It's a Type 2. Let's take a look in the boot. Interestingly, no power tailgate. I wonder if it's an option. Boot size. Well, pretty damn good. Also, very little boot lip, making it really easy to load. Under here, you'll find your charging cable. Decent boot size. We've got some pockets here. Simple to drop the seats. You just literally pull this. But there's also a release there. Nice pull-out load cover. With the seats dropped, you can see it really increases the space. And even the gap is carpeted over. It doesn't lay entirely flat, but it's pretty damn close. And pretty solid tethering hooks. Well, the wind's really done a number on my hair. Not surprising though, we're up north. So we're just on the outskirts of Wetherby, near the racecourse, and it's SMMT day. And it's given us a chance to get behind the wheel of the 308. Under the bonnet, we've got a 1.6 litre engine, an electric motor, and a battery. So yeah, this has the hybrid powertrain. And if you're wondering what the hatchback looks like, feast your eyes on this lovely green one here. You'll likely remember from a number of vehicles that we've driven over the last couple of years, namely the 508. Performance wise, well, as you'd expect, petrol engine and an electric motor. It's pretty quick off the mark. And it offers a decent driving experience. It's fun on the back road.
It's comfortable as a passenger. It reminds me of its big brother, to be honest, in that respect.
Well, that's it. There's very little body roll. It's just comfortable, isn't it?
And on these bad roads, it's refined in here too.
I was going to say, there's very little road noise or wind noise. It's nice and easy to see out the windscreen. The B pillar's pretty good, but you've got blind spot detection anyway, or it's an option.
Well, actually, the blind spot detection is long range.
Is it?
Yeah, so it's a higher level of overwatch, so nice one, Peugeot.
No, it's comfortable suspension, it's got decent power, lots of safety, and you can get things like cruise control, which is adaptive. The cluster's nice and straightforward to read. You can see when you're in the power section, the eco section, and charge. So as soon as I back off, you can see it starts to charge. you also have an electric mode. In a nutshell, it's what you've come to expect from Peugeot. It's a nice refined drive, it handles well on the back road, it's got lovely direct steering that weightens up when you drive a little more spiritedly, and great brakes. Economy wise, in addition to drive modes, you've also got drive or brake, and brake makes it heavier regen, so perfect for, say, hills. Overall, a rather impressive estate car. Practical, versatile, well priced, and a great drive with a hybrid powertrain and decent economy. And I love all the extra touches.
It does tick a lot of boxes, doesn't it, Ben?
It does.